Okay, so we're on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. So we're gonna try to just kind of give you some information. A lot of you guys saw my post that I put on yesterday about my before and after over my 5-month transformation. Hey Victoria, how are you? And this is my gorgeous coach, Whitney. She is on Instagram as Witness Fitness. So you guys should go follow her. She is an amazing coach. She's also a top ranked national NPC competitor. And she competed in the figure division, which is more like people, I think when they think of it, they think of the bikini division, and then the figure division is where the girls have a little more muscle, right? Yeah. So she's really, really good at knowing how to build muscle, and that is why I hired her. Because we became friends, and then I started learning her backstory, and I just really wanted more information because you guys know I'm a vegetarian, and genetically I don't build muscle that easy.
Yeah.
It's very hard for me to build muscle. And so Whitney has been super helpful and she has taught me that it's not all about restricting your food, which I think in my mind I was in the low carb thing for so long that I was down to, I remember I sent you my food diary at the beginning and you were like, we just need to get you eating more food, which was music.
Have, right?
Right. Oh, yes.
Eating more food, people.
And it's music to my ears. So, anyways, we wanted to talk about the reverse dieting, and if it's right for you. A lot of you commented and said, you know, this sounds amazing, I want to learn more about it. I haven't had like a huge pound transformation, but as you can see in those pictures, there has been a big transformation just with like fat loss and muscle gain. So anyways, so thank you so much for joining.
For sure.
And you guys, if you know Whitney, she's just the best. Okay, so what is reverse dieting?
So reverse dieting is a method used specifically for transitioning out of a period of dieting successfully without that rebound that a lot of people experience. They do a 12-week program, they lose 20 pounds, 15 pounds, and then what do? They think, oh, I'll just go back to my normal routine, and you gain your weight back. Or for muscle building, which is what Lisa has been most focused on. Because you put your body in a surplus of calories, essentially, and that's really what you are able to accomplish if you do it right. And the goal there is to maintain some level of leanness as you do it. You add calories very slowly. You control that little by little, and you hope to maintain your weight or possibly gain a couple of pounds, but to maintain a relatively normal level of leanness instead of some people call it dirty bulking. It's kind of a bodybuilding term.
Oh, really?
If somebody's trying to gain muscle, kind of just eat all the food, lift a lot of weight.
Do men do that mostly? I feel like it just kind of depends.
But I mean, it's honestly become kind of a little bit antiquated because people learn that you don't have to do that. You can lean bulk, you can add calories methodically, slowly, and still stay lean and then build some muscle.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay. So one thing I get from women is they say, I want to lose fat and gain muscle, but that's really hard to do at the same time, right, Whitney?
It can be.
It can be. Do you kind of want to do one before the other?
It depends. Science says that if you're trying to lose body fat, you need to eat in a deficit. If you're trying to gain muscle, you need to eat in a surplus. So they do kind of like disagree with each other. However, newbies, people who aren't used to lifting weight, people with a lot of body fat can do it. It's anecdotally, you see clients build muscle and lose fat at the same time if you do it right. If you're eating the right protein amount, you have a good macronutrient split of fats and carbs. Our bodies will use the stored fat. If you have some extra fat to lose, our bodies will use stored fat as energy to help you build that muscle. So it can be done. You've done it a little bit. So
and we did at the beginning of when I signed up with Whitney and she started helping me. I don't think I was ever in a deficit, but I definitely had a little bit lower calories than I do now. And so that's when I think I had a 1 week picture I sent you of just because I had kind of been eating whatever and nothing was really structured. And just in that week alone, I had a big change, just kind of getting rid of probably, kind of like a carb flush type of thing. But then you said, okay, now we're ready, after a couple of weeks, now we're ready to start building muscle. And so that's what we've been doing.
Yeah, and I see a lot of clients, women it's especially popular with, thinking that restricting calories is the way to do it. But they'll come to me still with body fat to lose. Yeah. Their body composition isn't where they want to be, and they're eating 1,100 calories a day. Right. You can't diet somebody less than that to lose that body fat. That's unhealthy. It's just not the way to do it. So that's where you initially start with a reverse diet start to increase that those calories, so that you can then down the road do a diet, cut those calories back at a healthy amount.
Because are you trying to get their metabolism to meet? So the one thing that somebody described it to me once is if you, hi Carolyn, how are you? If you eat, like Stephanie said, 1,100, or sorry, not Stephanie, I just saw Stephanie on there. Hi Stephanie. If you eat like 1,100 calories like Whitney said, your metabolism will meet you there. But if you eat 1,600, 1,700, 1,800 calories and you do it slowly, your metabolism will adjust. So sometimes people do gain weight at the beginning, and it's because their metabolism is trying to join them. So,
and it's to be expected. Social media sometimes starts wildfires of popularity, popular diets, and people go, well, I want a reverse diet. But they think when they say that it's the way that they want to lose 10 pounds. Yeah. That's not what reverse dieting is. Right. It does, people sometimes do hyper respond to that at the beginning and will lose a few pounds, and that can be a combination of maybe their actual intake was a little bit off from what they thought it was, and so they're actually getting on a plan and being strict and really following what they, or really eating what they are kind of supposed to, and they'll tighten up that way, and or their metabolism kicks up and they do start to their body starts to use that food, and they're working out well and they're lifting weights, and so they do. You can see those people who do lose a few pounds. You lost a few pounds right off the bat as well. Yeah, but it's not something that you should expect or kind of attain to. And I think that that's a really, talk about reverse dieting, it's a reverse mindset of like, if the scale goes up, it's okay, because if you see that post from 2 posts ago that I did yesterday, you don't think that I look fatter in the second one, right? You think I look thinner, but really my weight was like exactly the same. Okay, another question is, how long should you do it for? And I know that that's a pretty individualized question. Yeah. But how long should you reverse diet for? It's individual and it depends. Basically what it boils down to is how comfortable you get with how your body responds to it. So as long as you maintain your body weight, or you're comfortable with the amount of weight that you've gained, you feel good at where you're at, you feel like you have energy, which is, I mean, all this is huge. Like, it's not just about your physique. Right. If you get your body up into those calorie ranges where it's actually functioning well, you can have great lifts, you can do cardio and feel awesome, you can sleep better, you can, everything kind of feels better. You keep going and increasing those calories as high as you want them. Sometimes women will say, I don't want to eat any more food. I'm done. Like, I'm at my limit. And I'm like, who are you? Who doesn't want to eat more food? I don't know what that feels like, but I mean, it's sort of until you're comfortable where you get uncomfortable with where you're at, or you feel like, I don't want to focus on trying to eat anymore. Trying to eat that much food. Well, and somebody asked me too, they said, how do you know, like when you reverse diet and you increase calories, and we've done it really slowly, but how do you know when it's time to pull back? And I told her, it's kind of just the way I feel, and like in an area where I stay lean is my stomach. I have other parts of me that don't stay lean, but my stomach, and so I'll tell Whitney, like, gosh, Whitney, I feel a little fluffy in my stomach, and that's where I think I'm just holding the extra calories. So then we'll just keep it steady for a little while until I don't feel that way anymore. So, and it's really interesting to see what your body's capable of. I think from the time that now I'm eating roughly 1,800 calories, and when I joined with Whitney, I was right at 1,200. So I have had an increase of 600 calories since June. That's great.
And I mean,
slow and steady.
Yeah, slow and steady. And a lot of times too, people think like, oh, it's just eat whatever you want. And that's not the case,
no,
right?
It's like with anything. You know, people think it's kind of like tracking your macros. It's, you know, you can eat whatever you want. Sure, you can, but there are going to be benefits to eating whole foods, trying to keep it as clean as you can, getting your fiber in, getting your micronutrients in. Absolutely, you should allow for treats.
Yes, and listen, you guys, I have had plenty of treats. Plenty of treats, and I'm able to fit them in. Every once in a while after I go to the gym, I'll have a donut. I do love donuts. Whitney loves donuts too.
Donuts.
Who doesn't love donuts?
Keeps you balanced.
Yeah, it does keep you balanced, and it's really good because your body, especially after you lift, it's really good to have those high carbohydrate, high glucose treats, because then it just kind of goes to your body quickly and your body's able to process it a little bit better than if you were just sitting home and it was midnight.
Yes.
Which is a mistake a lot of people make. Okay, and then let's see.
Carolyn's.
Carolyn.
Because I did want to touch on that.
Okay.
Slow and steady is about 50 calories a week is pretty good. That's usually like the equivalent of like 10 carbs or 5 grams of fat. Those are good amounts. That's kind of like my norm. It depends. I'll change it up for some people, but that's a good increase if you do. And then sometimes we haven't always increased every week.
Right. We've stayed steady for a little while just to see.
Yeah, and then also she says, do you increase in carbs, fats, or protein? So protein stays pretty steady. You want to keep it right around your body weight, grams of protein per pound of body weight. That kind of depends on your activity, but that's sort of where I tend to keep plants. Yeah. And then we increase carbs and fats. We don't usually do it at the same time.
Right.
Body responds better with one or the other, but we do like to have a healthy balance. Women, you need fat.
Yes.
So don't keep things low fat. And carbs, everybody responds differently. Some people do better with higher carbs, some people do better with lower. So you can kind of play with it. It's not black and white, and it's not the same for everybody.
Right, yeah, that's a great point. Yeah. Thanks for asking that, Carolyn.
Yeah.
Okay, what type of workouts should you incorporate when you reverse diet?
Definitely lifting weights.
Yes.
Don't be afraid of them. That will help you with your shape. That will help build muscle, which will also boost your metabolism. It takes more energy for your body to maintain the muscle that you have on your frame, and that will keep you burning more calories, which means you can eat more food.
That's right.
And then cardio where it's appropriate. HIIT cardio is awesome for reverse dieting because it has been shown to preserve muscle or help you.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Yeah, it tends to help you maintain your muscle more than long states of steady state cardio, long bouts of steady state cardio would. So, I mean, but steady state cardio is great. You should do a mix, you should do them all. HIIT is awesome. It's fast, you get really good metabolic response. It's good for you.
Yeah. Okay, so Lisa's wondering, how long do you suggest working out? Like, how long should your workout be?
Yeah, that's different for everybody.
Yeah.
A good lift is going to be 45 minutes to an hour, depending on how many body parts you're lifting. And then cardio should be as needed. It should you should do it. Your heart needs it. It's good for you. You shouldn't overdo it because you just get yourself into a hole with it. Yeah,
and you're kind of undoing the work a little bit that you're doing in the weight room. I feel like sometimes when I do too much cardio. So Whitney has me do 2 20-minute hits a week, and then I teach high fitness. If anybody's done high fitness, it's an hour-long class. It's pretty tough, twice a week as well. So I'm doing cardio about 4 times a week, but years ago, I would spend all my time doing cardio because I just wanted to look defined. But really, most women have to actually lift weights to get that definition, especially in your arms. There are very few people that are born with those awesome genetics I wish I had that can automatically, I have them now, right?
I've seen those shows.
And then Tiffany wanted to know, do you base your protein on your lean body mass or your total body mass? It's total, right?
Some people figure it differently. For the ease of I just do total body weight.
Total body weight, okay. All right, awesome. And then let's see, I think I've got one more question, and then then we're gonna, maybe we could do another session next week or something if you guys have more questions. So here is the last question. If someone wanted to start doing reverse dieting, how would they go about it?
The best thing to do is figure out where your maintenance calories are.
Okay.
Kind of what you've been doing. Track, if you have no idea, track your food for a week. Download a calorie macro tracking app. Just log your food. Don't try to change anything. Don't try to like do better. Just log what you eat.
Yeah.
So then you know, and then you know if you need to know if you're gaining weight on that, if you lose weight on those where you're at. And then if you're going to reverse, you just start, you maintain that protein, that consistent protein as we mentioned before, and then start adding small increments of fats and or carbs, kind of depending on maybe where you're in more of a deficit.
Yeah.
Some people have been eating really low fat. It's probably a good idea to get your fat intake to a healthier
yeah, and that can affect all sorts of things too. Fat
hormones,
intake, hormones, and so yeah, you want to really focus on peanut butter and avocado and coconut oil, all of the wonderful things in life.
Yeah. So yeah, you'll make small increases every week if you're responding well.
Yeah.
If you find yourself gaining consistently, you want to hold back or at least maybe maintain for a minute until you feel ready again. Yeah. But I mean, obviously a good coach to help you have that second set of eyes is great, but you can definitely play with those things yourself.
Yeah,
you're not going to do any damage by testing things out on yourself.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, thank you so much. I think we have one last question from Lisa, and she just said, how would I go about starting to count macros?
Lots of resources.
Online's a good place to start.
Tons of ebooks out there.
And sometimes people will charge you like a one-time fee to figure them out for you.
Yeah.
And then you can download an app like MyFitnessPal or Calorie King and track those. And you really could just do it on your own, like Whitney said.
Start paying attention to labels. Look at the back of the label. Look at how many calories are in something. Look at the carbs, the fats, the proteins. Know what you're getting, and you'll kind of be surprised if you've never paid attention to that before.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I have to say hi to my son Ty. He's in middle school right now.
Ty,
I don't know how you're on Instagram. Turn your phone off. You're gonna get busted.
Hey. He says, hey.
And I could still beat him in arm wrestling.
Oh.
But he's getting close. He's getting close. He's gonna beat me any day now. Okay, all right, thanks you guys. Let me know, send me a message. If you have more questions for Whitney, I'm happy to ask her. Follow her at Witness Fitness on Instagram. She is
Witness_fitness.
Yes, Witness_fitness.
You'll find something else.
Yeah. And she's a wealth of information and knowledge, and she's the best of the best, and that's why I picked her. All right, I hope you guys have a great day.
Bye-bye.